Returnal and Astro Bot are the only true PS5 games, I think.
Mm.
The only true PS5 games.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with the...
What if we just like synchronize these up because that'd be more cool for all of us? Because it's what do you know?
Honestly, that's a great question.
It's so many different people celebrating it,
and it is a lot
countries.
Of them. I gotta imagine it's probably the prior, because especially the Spanish-speaking countries that all share the same Independence Day. I gotta imagine it's like, oh, yeah, we kicked the Spaniards out.
We're gonna learn together right now.
And it's probably that. But also, I kind of hope that it's the other. That I hope.
Oh no! It's literally 5 nations celebrate their independence from Spain on the same day.
There you go. It is. It would have been a little more fun if everyone's like, we should just do it at the same time. This would be a blast, right? Just like the entire mid-continent.
Yeah, so here it is. So the states of the Central American Federation declared independence from Spain on September 15th, 1821. Those states later became the countries of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua, which is why they all share the same date of independence.
There you go.
And then it's 16th is Mexican Independence Day, right?
Yes.
So it just gets real blurry in Chicago, in our area.
Oh, it gets
it's
very fun, very wild.
Yeah. Because there was a moment before I remembered that multiple places have it where I was like, wait, are people just running other flags just to be like, I also exist? Because at first I thought it was like just people like do, because like it's a Polish, there's like a lot of Polish people around in our neighborhood. And I was like, is that like, I was like, is that bad? And I was like, oh wait, no, that's, I was like, that's Costa Rica's flag. Okay, we're fine.
Yeah, we're chill.
And then it all connected, but for a second I was like, no.
Oh no, what's happening?
Well, because honestly, I thought I saw like a flag of a white place. So I was a little scared. I was like, oh no, and then I was like, nope, that was wrong.
It's
fun stuff. Good weekend.
Also, very entertaining to watch the Chicago subreddit lose their goddamn minds over this.
That's part of why it's a fun weekend. Like, that's one of my favorite parts of this city. And I would say this is probably every city
New
has
York,
an active subreddit.
New York also had.
But it's just ours. Like, it has such an interesting thing because I think we're one of the biggest cities. Like, Houston's also another good example where it's like, the only liberal part in any part, almost where it's like, so the Chicago subreddit's also just some of the places to also get the best information about everywhere around Chicago. So it becomes a very interesting place very quickly when anything happens. And by anything, I mean, could be anything.
Literally anything.
Yep. Could be like someone like not holding a door open.
The Chicago subreddit is maybe one of the most sensitive communities, I'd say. Sensitive communities. They have a lot of sensitivities towards many different things. And no one's happy about all. No one's ever happy about anything.
About all of. No, it's like it's like as a whole, not one single person can be happy about how the subreddit is ran. And I think that's actually
that's probably a good thing. Yeah, you're right.
Like, I think it's probably I feel like everyone is pissed on it about everyone and every rule. Now, I will say there is some antithesis because Chicago has splintered into so many different subreddits because you can't generally talk about. Like, that's just a place to, like, all the major subs like that, like the Las Vegas sub, if you try to make it not a place the tourists go to get recommendations, they're going to go anyways. Just give up.
Yeah. It's too late.
So, like, where it's like Chicago food is still small enough that it's still a place where you can actually go. People are just talking about food for the most part.
Mostly, yeah.
The thing that's starting to come in is...
I've noticed it.
You've seen it.
Yep.
You've seen it. And we're on the same page about what it is?
Well, maybe, because now I don't know.
People being like, you can't even think about liking a restaurant because one time the building was owned by someone that I don't like. Because I saw that today. Basically, that was the thing. It was like...
It's starting. Well, I was about to say the thing that I've noticed in the Chicago food subreddit is that it's starting to become like the Chicago subreddit in the sense that like this place that everyone's recommending sucks and you're all stupid. This place sucks, and it's like
here's something to consider. Everyone, and this is going to be the end of our cold open, but this is going to be our appetizer to not anything we're talking about today. Russia recently got back on TikTok, and Christine told me the day that happened, most of what she saw was Russian content. It overwhelmed the algorithm because I think she was on it like as it was like, you're online.
Yeah.
And she was just like, I saw nothing but Russian content for like 2 straight hours.
Sick.
And she was like, no, it was like
normal people Russian content or like Russian.
Just
Russian
she
content?
was just.
Oh, okay, okay.
And it just kept being like Russian. You could see it was like Russian writing, right? It's an election season, and everywhere on the internet is randomly, super random. Don't know about this, but everywhere on the internet, random is getting, everything's getting more aggressive.
That's
everywhere.
True. That's
right
a fair
now.
point. That's a fair point.
It literally,
yeah.
Part of the thing about what happens during election season on the internet is everything becomes a little more fake than usual.
Yes.
And there's a lot more people who are trying to stoke division in weird ways because they're trying to shake people loose to make a connection point. So there's probably bots on all of the subreddits that you are
for sure, 100%,
part of that are popular. And it's probably not coming in 500,000 subscribers. It's probably coming in a normal looking subscriber. And that person might be starting to post a bunch of stuff that seems innocuous, but then starts to take over the subreddit as more gets added. Like this happens every year. You just start seeing, and then like all of the subreddits have to like clamp down insanely. And then everybody gets mad about that. And I'm like, that could be, because when you see those little points where things like that turn so aggressively, and everything starts becoming an argument, you're like, who wanted? Wait, did we all just decide to start arguing? This was not, we all didn't do that. And then you're just like, oh, let's look at this post history. Oh, the only thing you do is argue in Chicago-based places. You're probably not a real person at that point.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you are, you know what I mean?
Also, if you are a real person
and you're doing that, it's like
reconsider some things.
Yeah, it's
man.
like for real. But
and it's for sure a guy.
Always. I want to think that there's less of those than it seems, and more of it's just there is the whole theory, Danny, that
the dead internet theory. I know,
and it's what could become more real.
This is the DMGT podcast where we are very real, as far as you know.
Well,
I'm your host, Danny.
I'm your host, Spencer. Aside from all of what we have been doing this entire year, and this is something that we've been waiting to announce today because it's kind of a special day for us, Tuesday, September 17th. We all know it's special. We don't need to talk about it. But this is where we wanted to announce that since January 1, 2024, everything that you have heard on our podcast has been entirely AI generated without content moderation.
Everything.
So you have not actually listened to a single word we said. We have actually uploaded our voices to AI. We were kind of part of the controversial ChatGPT stuff where the voices were too sexy. We'll be honest. We'll be honest. We were part of it. That's part of why and ScarJo was in the mix too. Don't want to be rude, but that's why they kind of pulled it back. And we just want to say, so from right now, this is now normal stuff. Everything else doesn't matter.
Sad to report that all of our CES content was also AI.
Hey,
we weren't even there.
You could tell that there was no hands shown.
No hands ever. And this is where the computer runs out of space because we reach singularity, right? Is that how it works?
It's either the singularity or the credit card bounced. Kind of expensive to create 2 AI generation things that are really on a very human-like schedule of consistency and recording their podcast.
Yeah.
It was seamless. No one would have known that was AI because they disappeared as often as we did.
Yep.
Maybe even more.
Yeah, if anything. We
didn't even know we were on a vacation when we were. We were both assuming we were still getting hits, you know?
Honestly, I don't even know what's happening right now.
I'm really confused.
Is how far off we've gone off the rails here. Spencer, I am halfway through Morning Star of Red Rising. I think the last update I had just finished Red Rising 1. Golden Sun, the second book, I think is so far still my favorite book of the series, at least of the 3 so far. It's so good. It is so good. Morning Star is brutal. I'm not loving it as much as Golden Sun. Still very good. Still probably better than Red Rising, I'd say. But I definitely, my pace has come down to like a normal person's not binging pace.
It'll click back in soon.
Yeah.
There is a little bit of a lull. And then it because technically I believe there's 2 different trilogies. So when you're you're at the end of one and the start of the other, it feels as if you're a little restarty. Because we're reading them all together.
Right.
Now, I do have something to say. Our friend Colleen, who brought us these books, said, read them. I accidentally forgot that she has not read the most recent one that's available. I thought, and I thought it was, she hadn't read the one that isn't done yet because it's not out. And I was like, that makes sense. So I had been like, man, Danny had a tough time here, and sent a couple plot points of other tough times. And I was like, and then I spoiled something, and I feel deeply, deeply sad about it.
Oh, brutal, dude!
I was not.
Oh, I was
no! I was so upset.
Oh, that's rough.
It was really rough.
Honest mistake.
It was so, but I feel
that
so bad.
Still sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. I hate doing that. You'd never want to do that to someone. So that's all I'll say. So I have to spoil it for you too. No.
Okay. The credit card's back.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's good. A fun time. Yeah. Read the stuff, folks. I think I'm trying to convince Mike to read it, and I'm almost there. But
they're really, really, really good.
They're so fun. They're just fun too. Well, fun.
If you don't,
one way.
If you don't like the first one, that's fair, because I feel like that it is like a mapping of other young adult sci-fi fantasy things. It's not that impressive in the first book. And honestly, the world building is good. It's really good, but not incredible in the first book. I'd say it's the hints that you get are very tantalizing.
Yeah.
But then it starts to really rip and gets big pretty quickly.
Yeah. The second one, I feel like just
it's like immediately,
it just immediately hits you. It's
totally different.
So different.
Yeah. It's we just wanted to really set the stage.
Yep. Yeah.
And now we're just going to really play hard in the world.
So it's so good. It's so fun. And the characters get better and better over time. Yeah. I haven't read any further than what I texted you guys last night. I was just like, fuck this. And I closed my book.
Some brutal stuff.
I was like, God damn it. This sucks. I'm going to keep reading it, but I was like, damn, I got to put this down. This sucks. I'm mad. Yeah. Well written, but I'm still mad about it. Spencer, what are we talking about today?
Danny, we're going to talk about Astro Bot.
Astro Bot.
Because I finally played it.
Speaking of space, yeah. Oh, thank you.
So,
finally.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I've been playing it. I got over 100 of my bots saved.
Oh,
so
damn. You played a decent amount. Yeah.
It's not that. It's pretty quick.
Yeah, it is.
But we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about iOS 17 versus 18 for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of travel tech, because people may be traveling soon in our lives.
Yeah.
And we were just thinking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So where do you want to start, Danny?
Let's start with the new, speaking of people that are angry all the time, I'm going to loop this into Linkin Park talk real quick here, because we didn't talk about this last time, even though, was it already released? No, maybe not.
I think it was the day after we recorded.
The day after we recorded. Correct. Linkin Park is back. My favorite band of all time is back. I was very excited. They had the timer going for a couple of weeks, and then it was like a fake out, and then it's like psych. The actual date is the week after. So, classic. If you're familiar with Linkin Park album cycles and release cycles at all, it's a very classic troll move by
Minutes
them.
to Midnight. They love talking about time.
Love time, baby.
1,000 suns, technically a measure of time.
Yeah,
if you really think about it.
Yeah, it's technically referencing the Doomsday Clock, which is also minutes to midnight.
Oh, Danny,
reference.
you need to read the book about nuclear war.
I know. I still
you
need
are
to.
going to love it.
I know. I will.
Weirdly,
now
it's
that
like
I'm back
my
into
book
reading.
of the
Now
year.
that I'm
It's
back
like
into
my,
reading.
Like I might have come out last year, but if it came out this year, it's my book of the year. And I've been ripping through books this year.
I'm back into reading, so I will. So it's out. New song. I liked it. I liked the new song. I was pretty excited. It was very better. Like, the stream started and the timer began or whatever, and I had forgotten. I had just gotten off of work, or like I think I spent like an extra 15 minutes wrapping up something at work, and I totally forgot. And then I looked, I was like, oh my God, it's going on right now. So I started it from the beginning. It felt very bittersweet because they were like kicking off with the new song in the live performance. And then when they finished, they released it proper.
Gotcha. I didn't realize it started with a live.
Yeah, it was cool. They started with a live performance, and the band's going through it. So Shinoda's going through his part, and the band's all there. And then right before leading into the new singer's part, she walks out and into the stage, and then goes into her verse. A little corny, but also kind of like fun. I like that they did that.
They're a little dramatic.
Yeah, they're for sure a little dramatic. They've always have been.
Not a little. I mean, actually, quite a bit.
A lot.
Like a ton. They're extremely dramatic. They make
super.
so much sense in Michael Bay movies. It's just weird.
Yep.
It like there's a similar bombast. They just fit so well with Transformers. It's insane.
Good thing I'm not dramatic at all, and it did not influence me in the way I approach things in the slightest.
Yeah, you talk normal a lot.
So, anyways, it was very bittersweet, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. Right, I was like, okay, cool. The energy was cool. I liked the voice. The performance on some of the old songs was, I was like, nerves, totally nerves thing. Like, imagine being a person with their own band, but much smaller, and then joining like a band of that size with the history that they have is. Gotta be terrifying.
I was thinking about this, and the thing I could put it to is Adam Lambert with Queen. Like that's like the only like contemporary reference I really had.
And Adam Lambert was already famous,
but
relatively
it was, like,
famous,
mostly like from American Idol, and didn't he not win?
No, he did not win. I think he was a runner-up or third place, something like that.
Maybe,
if I'm not mistaken.
But like popped the most from that season, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But then like,
but people knew this person's name. So like,
but that's still,
But then
like,
to go into like Queen is like huge. Yeah. So that is the closest to like kind of the situation here. And as the internet does, they get mad about stuff. They find things, whatever. I'm not going to get into that right now. At this point, people have seen it. But I liked it. I'm excited for the album. I pre-ordered the vinyl, and I'm just waiting for fresh tour dates to be announced because they're releasing the album in November, and that's like around the time that their current like 8 shows end. It's like a weird 8-show world tour where it's like 3 in the US,
right,
and then like a couple in Europe, one in Japan or China, and then in Colombia of all places. I was like, cool. Fun.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's confusing. They're almost doing like, it's as if they're rolling out of Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing I thought when I saw their plan. I was like, are they doing like, is Vin Diesel gonna be there? Because it feels like that's how Vin Diesel does his like Fast and Furious shit. He's always like, I go to one of the countries we visit at least as a premiere. I'm probably gonna hit up like where Vin Diesel has adopted as his home places in the series, which is everywhere he's ever been. Because he's like Cuba's son, he's Miami's boy, he's LA's son. Like it's the best part. Everyone loves him in Brazil. Like he's like a literal god seemingly in Brazil.
Dude, the Brazilians and South Americans love their fucking pop culture and media.
No, I'm literally only saying in the movies.
Right.
This is just scenes in the movies where he is treated like Christ as he just goes to places.
That is so
and he also knows them the best. Always.
Yeah, he's always like on like dap up first name basis with people.
With every single person that is in Brazil. It's one of my favorite parts of those movies. It's old school superstar shit.
Well, I hope they put a new Linkin Park song in the final Fast and Furious.
Yeah, or at least like sneak one into Transformers 1's
Please.
sequel because I feel like people are enjoying Transformers 1.
Get it in there. Get it in there.
Yeah, somewhere.
So yeah, I'm excited for this album, and I'm making you come to a show with me.
Oh no, I will gladly go. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah. Now, will this be the same as like when I drag you to a Koei show where, you know, the times where I've paid for you to come, I pay for your ticket so you come? Will you do that for me? I'm just kidding. It's going to be way more expensive than a Koei show.
I'm playing.
No. It's going to be more expensive than a Koei show. I'm covering you like $30 when I force you to come to one. Like, I'm assuming we're going to spend more money than that.
Yeah, it might be a little pricey.
Because honestly, we got to get some good seats.
And I'm considering getting floor seats for this one and trying to get there early enough to pit. We'll see. Linkin Park fans are old now, like me, like us. So it might not be as intense.
Not as quick on the draw.
Yeah. I don't think so. So. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
anyways,
it is.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
It'll be fun. It'll be really fun.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Spencer, let's talk about Astro Bot, man.
Let's talk about Astro Bot. We have not talked about Astro Bot.
Not at all. Okay, so I hyped this up. I've been hyping it up pretty good. I think I saw the reviews out of the gate came in really strong. And I was like, cool. I don't know how much of this is like the quote unquote PlayStation bump, or if it's just like a sign of the times, or it's just like a fun package that we haven't seen enough of this year. For me so far, it's everything and more, man. I am in love with this game. It is. I have not smiled playing a video game as hard as I have playing Astro Bot. I don't know, probably since Mario Galaxy.
Yeah. What about first time you did VR?
VR, yes, but that's in a different sense because
it's a different.
VR, because it's like more of like, this is so cool. It's more like the tech and everything. This is more like I feel like a child playing on my PS1 or my Super Nintendo again, and it's just raw. It's just like in its purest form. It's just video game.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I totally agree. I think like. It's like an easy thing to say. It's like a Mario level
that's
experience.
The cop-out, I'd say.
Like, it's a cop-out to say it, but it's truly the only thing that feels correct because it's not, this is a really great Jak and Daxter game. It's not, this is a really great Spyro.
Right.
It's like, no. Those were always considered below Mario. All of them, no matter how good you think any of Ratchet and Clank is. I'm sorry, Mario, they've never been Mario.
Correct.
Never even been whispered about being like Mario. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not how you do it. PlayStation doesn't have one.
Crash Bandicoot got the closest during the PS1 era, but
even
it's still
and only the PS1 era, right?
And it was
where it's like still Mario. The legacy is still like it's there, but it's different than it is now that we're like 5 more fucking master classes in video games. You know, deep. But then but I do think it's like it's easy, but it's also like it makes you feel like Spider-Man, where you're like, but it's also correct. It's just annoying that everyone has to say the same things, but it is true.
It's and I think the thing that people, what I haven't seen really talked about as much, because all the Easter eggs of all the old and existing PlayStation franchises is cool. The nostalgia stuff,
basically skipping through that. I don't even see what they're named. I don't care.
Fun. But that's what most of like the stuff that's getting hits online. That's what it's at. Like, oh my god, look, it's the Last of Us bot. Oh my god, look, it's like the old Sly Cooper bot. I think it's the least interesting. It's the least interesting thing about the game.
I'm telling you, man. I go as fast as I can. I don't see what they're named because I'm like, oh, they're just not using the real names because licensing.
Right.
So I just like literally, I'm like, this doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, I think you're the Bloodborne guy, and then I still don't look. I just go click.
Well, I mean, I changed my outfit to be the Bloodborne guy because even though don't love Bloodborne, the outfit is sick, and I'm all about the drip in game, baby. Let's go.
You should really love Bloodborne.
I know. Let's not get into it right now. But look, the game, the platforming itself and the controls itself are extremely tight. I think there's just enough like grace to it where you don't have to be like pixel perfect, but there's also a decent amount of challenge in here, especially the optional levels.
The triangle ones. I just unlocked those ones or started doing them. Those are hard.
Those are challenging. Yeah, they get
legit hard.
What I've found entertaining.
I'm like 3 in, and the third one I'm like, are you fucking kidding me with these fucking balls, man?
The balls. Oh, the balls one is on the spikes, right? That one. Yeah. That one's those are. I struggle with those.
Does it sound good, Danny?
It's so nice. The sound design, the audio design, incredible.
On my hands.
The music, awesome. I will say my one con to this game, and you're probably not going to agree with me, or maybe you will. I don't know. I don't like the music in those challenge levels. I'm sorry.
Oh,
it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite.
I actually will say
everything else great. The challenge level music, not a huge fan.
It's not as good as some of the other music. That's fair.
Yeah.
But I thought you were going to be like, I don't like the haptics, and I was like,
oh god, no, the haptics is like the best. The way that like
it's shocking.
The progression of the haptics, the progression of the difficulty, how they stack on the abilities that they bring back in the different levels. Yeah. I was like, this is where the meat is of this game, and I think like, not enough people are talking about it.
We have to just, Danny, we have to just talk about the haptics, though. Like, we have to, like, it's the thing is, like, I don't think enough people are spending enough time trying to explain it anymore. They're just like, the haptics are the best. This is incredible. You can feel everything, blah, blah, blah. But, like, you don't understand how weird it feels to your brain to have a thing vibrate in your hand in a way that makes you think
that you're there.
That you're actually physically seeing the character walk on the thing and hearing the character do it and feeling like you're the thing that they're doing it on, but not in a weird way.
No, it's like very...
And it's not like overly ASMR-y, but sometimes it can hit that vibe, I think.
Yeah.
But it's not trying to overtly be that. It's trying to accurately depict how the tactileness of things.
Yes. And the tactile immersion is probably...
It does it in a way where it almost forces you to look at everything because there's so many different surfaces
and
to
textures.
Touch.
Like there's textures that you almost
and
feel. You put
resistance
your hands on. Yes.
And it's so interesting, and it still is so fucking frustrating. Just like last week we were talking about how the last time it was this good was the fucking shipped game in the box that was also Astro Bot.
Yep.
And like no one has even
not even tried. Returnal. Okay, here.
Yes. A couple games have tried. Yes, but like Returnals isn't even close.
No, not to this degree. Not to this degree. Returnal and Astro Bot are the only true PS5 games, I think. The only true PS5 games, and a lot of it has to do with the haptic feedback and the way that they implemented the controls. Though, just the way that it feels like it's. I have not gotten tired of like the string pulling mechanic when you're like pulling it down, but then the haptic feedback increases in tension as it's stretching on screen.
And the thing
is, perfect.
The thing I like is they also, I feel like, have fixed like one of my major critiques with the controller in my head. I don't know if I've said it on the podcast, where like people just fuck with the triggers too much and make the triggers too hard.
Yeah.
And that's like the only thing you ever get. So it's like,
they
I
just
don't know
increase
if it's
the
the same
resistance
in the first one or not, but when you grab the thing and pull, you grab with square. You pull with your joystick, where I want to say it was a trigger last time.
It might have. I don't remember.
Or like games with similar mechanics have used the trigger resistance as the thing you're pulling back on. And I'm so glad they didn't go that way. And with the way that they've implemented the haptics, I just now realized that I'm not pulling triggers when I'm doing that. But it feels like my whole hand
because
is doing
just how natural it feels because of the haptics.
That's the great
so
like
cool.
These are the things that people I feel like aren't trying to explain because they're really not easy to explain.
Well, it's because it's because they've done such a good job at implementing it that you barely even notice that it's happening.
You know what? I wish we were still in the time where that was like the goal.
Yeah.
Where it was like, let's integrate something so good that you don't know.
Yep.
Like, remember when that was the goal of everything? That the technology was the promise was. Know what I was? We're gonna go on a tangent, Danny.
Let's do it.
Now what I realized, we're all about to get trapped in system AIs. And what I mean by that is, since every tool is implementing their own gated AI, that is taking one of the major AIs and adding stuff on top of it, right? Every AI tool is one of the big three add on top. A lot of it's GPTs because they were first in. So like most things that you're currently buying are built on GPTs, right? But to make the things a sellable product, right, you have to create very specific boundaries because you can't have, if I create something that's talking to someone, that's my bot, right? Well, it definitely can't become a Nazi accidentally, right? I'm going to have to make sure that in my product, I avoid that, right? So I got to make sure I do that. Also, I want to make sure that it doesn't like give like medical advice, right? Because that's just a crazy thing. I wouldn't want a bot to give medical advice, even though my company isn't about, all
legal
this
advice.
Stuff.
Yeah.
I'm making a product, right? So we're all going to be like trapped in every tool has an AI thing, but it's an AI thing that has someone else's thoughts about how you should use it on it.
Yep.
And how good is anything at that? At nailing that for people.
I don't think
so.
Very
we're all
good,
every tool is going to have their own version of AI with its own interface that you have to figure out that has different gates and different levels of what you can do to it to manipulate it and customize it to your actual needs. And everything you have, your phone will have a different one than your Slack app. Will have a different one than your Gmail app. Will have a different one than your Reddit app. Will have a different one than your health app. Like literally, they're all gonna have their own. And they're all and we're gonna and it's gonna make us more mad than ever, I think. And I just had the realization like recently that that's what's gonna happen. Have you been thinking about this?
No, but now I'm thinking about it.
Right? Does this? Am I on? Am I?
I think you're onto something here.
I was actively talking about this with someone, and I was like, oh no, like we got ourselves here. I was like, no. Is this what it's gonna be like? Really? I think it might.
That's less fun. That's less fun.
Dude, I think it's going to be stressful. Because like Alexa is going to have an Alexa AI that you can't turn off, but then your phone is going to be Siri.
Just when we thought we weren't going to be the IT person for our families anymore,
They just created the biggest IT nightmare of all time. A bigger problem,
yeah.
Literally. Like I just was like, wow, I'm very impressed with the Fire Stick onboarding. Because I bought 2 Fire Sticks for my mom because they were using older Samsung TVs that Tizen just can't fucking run on anymore. Like Samsung, the operating system. So it was just like I literally couldn't deal with how slow everything was.
Yeah.
So I was like, spend $30, get Amazon Fire Sticks while I'm in town. I'll set them up. I thought I was gonna have to like figure out all their passwords and stuff. Amazon literally goes, "Oh, we see other devices on the network. You're done."
I mean, that's sick.
And I'm convenient. Like, that's awesome. But I feel like we just got there because I was fully ready to be like, so what do we think this password is for this? Let's think about it a little bit. Maybe you wrote it down somewhere. You've moved twice since the last time you've signed into anything. What could it be? I don't know where your computer is set up in this house. You just moved.
Yeah.
Where is that? You know what I mean? Like I was fully ready. And then it does it. And I'm like, so we just finally figured out how to make it easy to fix most of the problems we all get phone calls about.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna add AI to everything, and it's all gonna be different, and then it's gonna be really wild.
Oh man.
Because I just realized today
it's gonna be like a different operating system per service. So it's like imagine trying to troubleshoot. Hey, my printer's not working. It's like well,
let me describe my day.
Which OS are you on?
So
imagine if there was like 10 Windows and 10 Apples.
Zoom, AI assistant notes.
Yeah.
Can't customize it. Can't ask it to format anyway.
I don't like
just
them.
Whatever.
I don't
and
like
they're
them.
really long form, and they're
like
trying to read like a fucking novel. Like they're weird as hell. Like helpful because at least there's stuff there that I can at least go, oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. Better than no notes, but still insane that you can't do anything with it.
It's almost like they went like full transcription of speech, but like not exactly that.
It feels like it was like trained to say, here's the transcript, make it like 5% as long.
Yeah.
And then like summarize it. And like if you do it like that, that's too aggressive and it misses everything. You have to go, like give me a full summary and then go. You have to like it's more steps than that is what I've learned, right? But then let's say I go to a Slack huddle, Danny. Know what Slack just introduced?
Oh
AI summaries for huddles.
Yep,
so that's a different AI that's trained to give me a summary in a different way. And then let's say, okay, well, I also have a ChatGPT that I just use. Okay, great. So now I have that one. Oh, and the platform, whatever platform you're using for whatever you do your work in, like Jira, any other, those all now have their own assistant tools.
Yep.
None of them are talking to each other, and they're all supposed to make it easier to do work. But all of I'm like, we already got to bloatware. We already are there. We didn't even get to it being helpful yet. Like
we went straight from like this is moving too fast to like, oh, it moved so fast that it jumped usefulness levels.
Well, or it was like everyone's just getting their hooks in, and I feel like it's gonna pull back significantly.
Yeah.
Like, because I think the ultimate answer is I'd rather just be able to connect the one that I train myself to do the things that I need it to do, and like be able to connect it to things I need.
It's too much of a security risk. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I get that. But it's like that's the only way that it feels like it would work it would be simple. It would be more complicated for everything else, but it would be for people.
It's gonna create a whole new like device management system for IT teams where you remember back in the day having like a corporate job, you couldn't go to Reddit, like all internet websites were basically locked down.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna share company secrets on the internet or whatever. Productivity. That's basically where we're headed with AI. Like, nope, can't use any of your tools. It'll be convenient for your personal life. Like, man, I browse this shit on my phone and it's so much more convenient. But then at work, it's going to be a pain in the ass until they figure out how to like actually make that secure, quote unquote.
Yeah, it's a chaotic time. Sorry to tangent there. Yeah. And we were talking about Astro Bot.
Because,
whoops. Because we went from...
Well, it's a robot. It's a robot.
It's a robot? I guess it's a robot.
I will say, last thing, to touch on the music, re-up on the music thing, love the theme song. It's stuck in my head all day. It's all fun. Every day.
It's all good shit.
Astro
Now, I do have more to say about
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, please.
I don't know why I want to go back, because I've been the one tangenting, but we're going to do it anyways. Danny, I love the serving size of the game.
Yes.
Because one thing I'm actually really enjoying about this game is I probably can't play it more than an hour and a half to 2 hours in a sitting. Not because it gets repetitive, but because I just feel like I don't need to go this fast.
Yeah, it feels like
it's a weirdly low. It's a weird thing to say as a positive to a game, in that it feels like I don't have to obsessively finish it. But I'm excited whenever I play it. And it's not because I'm like, I must savor it. It's just like, you're telling me I don't need to do it all at once. Very clearly, you're telling me that. The game is built on asides. You know what I mean?
Incredibly.
Where it's like,
yeah,
it's a very, like, and I really do appreciate that, because so many games are like, hey, sink like 500 hours into me. And we play a lot of those games. We do play specifically. A lot of those games. Like, we like those games, but it's always nice when you get something that like is like, here's the serving size, and like maybe don't go over it.
Yeah, it's like it kicks you out every time, and it's like, and then
you always have a chance to say, do I need to go more?
I think the way that you navigate to the different planets or systems or levels or whatever is like, that is like the breathing room that the game's telling you, like, if you want to, you don't have to. Yeah. But also you can.
Also, you can just go spend 30 minutes in your crash site.
Yeah, go back to your crash site,
and
hang
then
out.
Don't play any more games, but still do platforming in games, and be like, wait, what the heck? I'm still playing a game. This isn't a hub world, it's a game. Wait a second. Everything game.
Everything game.
I see game.
Everything game. They figured out how to...
I can like chop up fucking logs? Everything game.
They figured out how to gamify in like the least pretentious way possible.
It makes total sense. I'm like, of course I need the help of my friends to open up new stuff. That makes
it makes total sense.
And then everyone just is like doing their own shit, like being weird.
It's very hard not to be having fun doing almost anything in this game.
It's really frustratingly cute. Yeah.
It's
a good one. I would say they're also doing a good job at not becoming purely minions.
Yes.
Or Pikmin. A lot of Pikmin vibes. There's
a little bit of
Pikmin DNA.
Definitely obviously. A little bit of Minion DNA too.
Little bit, not like they're not trying to make, because there is things that try to make like this is our Minions.
Yeah.
But and rightfully so, Minions is $1 billion franchise.
Well, yeah, yeah.
They print money.
I mean, now I want a Astro Bot plushie. Damn it.
Well, I mean, there's going to be stuff like that because I do feel like 100%. Astro Bot is a thing that's hitting really hard. Now, Danny, you said to me in a text message, 5 minutes in, game of the year. You still feel that way?
100%.
How much you played?
100%. No doubt in my mind. This is the only 5 out of 5. This is the only top score that we can give out this year.
What other games
the only standalone game, rather.
Right. What other games are sniffing that area right now for you? Like Elden Ring DLC.
The Elden Ring DLC is the only one.
If we would count it, I would put it up there.
The Elden Ring DLC is the only other one. But nothing else is like...
Yeah, what are we talking? Dragon Dogma is 2?
No.
Absolutely not. That game,
Helldivers
I can't remember
2?
a single moment that I've played it. Helldivers 2? Sorry.
No.
Live game as a service, it just doesn't... It can't. Not enough.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, people love that one. It is not to this degree. Not to this degree.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's... Right now, I would have to say it is, even though I don't know if I'm as obsessed with it as you are, which isn't to say I don't really like it.
No, that's fair. I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, I also just had a really good time playing Cult of the Lamb.
Oh, Cult of the Lamb's a great game.
So I'm just, and I've been playing a lot of games, so like I'm just jumping all around right now. So I think You Should Die. Pretty fun.
Oh, that's a fun one. I haven't played that yet, but I've seen the videos on it. It looks fun.
I think it's like $30, like full price, because it's not. It's like it's more of a little dinky little detective click around, rewind time, look at clues with some noir elements. It's like isn't really playing. You're not really playing a game. You're playing a puzzle with like decent voice acting.
Fun.
Yeah, kind of fun.
Yeah,
that's like the only real like 2024 game I think I've been playing that I haven't talked about right now. Yeah, and like that ain't it. It's like good, but it's not.
Have you? I don't know why that reminded me, and I feel like I've asked you this 100 times already. Have you played Disco Elysium yet?
No.
You need to play.
I need to get on it. Yeah, I know. Oh, Hades 2.
Hades 2.
But it's also it doesn't count until it actually releases,
yeah,
right?
It's still early access. Yeah.
Hades so that'll win whenever it comes out.
Hades 2 will win. Hey, remember when we thought Silksong was a game that existed?
I was recently thinking about that, yeah. I do remember that, and that was a great time to think that we were hopeful that it might be around the corner, and now I'm like, of course, got again.
No shot.
Again. Like, for like the 20th time, we freaking had hope again.
Oh, man.
People always are like, why are people like you so cynical now? And I'm like, well, because of everything that we want to, like, these are the important things that they're like, don't have hope. Don't have hope.
The things you all I loved care Hollow Knight, about don't care
and like
back,
90% of it was because it was so cute, and it's nice to play a little Hollow Knight, because guess what? We're all little Hollow Knights.
We're all little Hollow Knights.
We're all little Hollow Knights, and we need our Silk Song. God, you're gonna make us cry.
Please, Silk Song, please. Oh my god. I think Spencer's actually crying.
I am not an animal. I am a human. I just watched Elephant Man.
It's not
I just watched
fault.
Elephant Man for the first time this week. Oh man, sobbing during that movie. That movie is sad as hell.
Sick. I love a good sad film, man.
Oof. Good stuff. Danny, what's next?
What's next? This time on Dragon Ball Z. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, Trump takes a big dump. Sorry, no, that's not where we were going. iOS 18 is out, and I've been annoying all our friends about it to update so much.
I just bodied like 25 minutes of Christine being very annoyed in every single person that cares about RCS in the world. It was funny. No, she's fine. But I was like, Danny, I was like, you coming so hot on this for everybody? I was like, I almost guarantee you, just by design, Christine will purposely not do this if she can get away with it, because one thing she doesn't like, people coming in hot telling her to do stuff on her phone. Phone is hers. Her phone is hers.
Yeah. I mean, I will say, was my pitch very good? No, it was very
You did
demanding.
not give much context.
Yeah,
I would say you give pretty bad instructions.
My instructions were great if you saw my video, dude.
But the thing is, Christine's not going to... She needed them written out. Again, think about IT.
Terrible.
You got to have it in all the ways.
No,
you can't just trust one.
No, I refuse. One form of content. And no. Okay, so iOS 18 is out. You've been using it for longer than me, I think, actually. On the
I've
beta.
been on the I did the beta when I realized it was like 2 into 18, like 2 little beta updates, because like I did get burned on 16. Yes. I feel like, because I started it. So I've been waiting, so I go off of it and then go on. So I've been on it for a while. So I honestly sometimes I'm like, what do I remember? What do I not remember? I definitely like this, like all of the new stuff feels good. Like it just feels like they refined a lot of things that maybe they hadn't stuck the landing on in the last couple generations, but nothing's insane.
Yeah. It's nothing has like been like, wow, this is like. In the past, I felt like iOS updates, like the major ones, have almost given new life to my phone as far as like, oh, this feels like a new phone experience almost. Mm-hmm. Not quite as much this time around, which is fine. There was not a lot that I was like really, really looking forward to. Obviously, RCS, you know this, but for the context of people listening, it just makes your life easier texting your friends or family with Android devices. Yeah. I have a decent amount of those, especially on the Lee side of the family, almost all Android. So I'm excited for it. It's like these threads aren't going to be a pain in the ass anymore. You're not going to see like repeat messages, all that shit. Photos and images and GIFs and links are going to look more like they do on iMessage. It's just
the dumbest.
It's really dumb thing that Apple refused to do for so long. Europe made them do it, and now it's here. Not implemented perfectly, I will say.
Definitely right off the gate. Working out the kinks. I'd actually say, like, weirdly, the beta was better because I was past the 1.0. I believe, at least, it felt that way.
Yeah.
Because RCS wasn't a problem for the whole time I was using it, but now I feel like it's still weird.
Yeah, it's still doing some...
Using it right now?
Doing some weird stuff. Just like the overlap of, like, what is the extent of iMessage feature versus what can RCS support it's still figuring it out, but it's going to be better. It's already better in the few threads that I do have with RCS enabled. So that's what that one is there. I kind of like the new update to the Photos app where everything's a little bit more contextual rather than like, bam, here's like your huge library, which you can still get to. But it's a little bit more dynamic as far as like, hey, here's some stuff from last month when you went to this one place. Which is a little scary sometimes, but it's also like, oh, yeah, right. I forgot to send this to Lily. I forgot to send this to my mom. Cool. Now it's a quick little refresher on those things. And then for me, one of the bigger stuff that I thought was like, oh, this is neat, is sharing your screen on a FaceTime call.
Yeah, really helpful.
Very helpful.
Super helpful because, like, I've downloaded, like we've all done screen recordings to send to family. It'd be great to do it live because that's the easiest way. Live is the easiest way to fix problems on phones or any technology.
Big fan.
Yeah, love that. Also, big thing I like, and I wish it's going to take forever for everyone to get on board with it, but the respecting of dark mode for apps, icons.
Oh, yeah.
It's not every app, which is annoying. Like that's always something like this. It's going to take forever.
I do like that,
when is, one example, I use the app Samsung Food for putting together like shopping lists because it's like the best version and it used to be called a different thing, but now it's Samsung Foods. Bet you they're not going to like upgrade super fast.
No, definitely not.
So I don't get a nice little black version of it. It's orange. But like Chai 311, I have a dark mode. They have a dark mode app.
Yeah, just like the little icons are like...
It's nice.
Yeah, it's
I
nice.
like it.
It's like a little...
Because I always keep my phone in dark mode. I am a 100% of the time dark mode person.
I don't think I'm gonna go all crazy with the customization on like the tints of the colors and all of that.
Nah.
That feels a little intense for me.
Don't need that.
But definitely the dark mode apps, icons, just a nice little nice. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. It's very much just feels. Yeah. It's
I'm surprised you didn't make a bigger deal out of customizing the home screen buttons, the 2 buttons on your lock screen. You can customize those now.
But it's phone, and I have phone and flashlight. What else would I put?
Oh, well, mine is camera and flashlight, but you can do...
Oh, camera and flashlight isn't that the default?
Yes.
What's better than that? What would I put there?
I don't know. You were the one asking for it. I haven't changed it. You were the one asking for this.
No. I was asking for the control center stuff. Control center was what frustrates me because I didn't like what some of them... So I like that we can now... Yes, sorry.
Well,
we can customize the control center.
Yeah.
Did I rant about those?
You did rant about that because you were like, action button. Why don't you just let me do it on the screen? And I'm like, Spencer, what are you going to do there? And you're like, I just want it on my screen. I'm like, wow.
I'm going to say bad take. That was the AI that we had. So it wasn't really me. I have no recollection of that.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
I love the action button. I would go on record saying that.
Pretty sure last year you're like,
just say
action button's dumb.
Hard to say.
Is it though? The recording's there. Let's go check. Let's give us a hard check right now.
I'll be able to tell. Seems like something I would do.
Yeah. That's fun.
But wait,
I was like, why haven't you brought this up?
I feel like I like tactile stuff, and why was I so against this button?
I don't know. Just because it. Here's
Wait,
the thing,
wasn't it because
you
couldn't customize it at first, wasn't it?
You can't customize.
No, at the beginning it was less customizable.
No, you could.
What was I mad about? There's something there.
I don't know.
Feels
man.
like there's something there.
Yeah, I know what you were mad about. You just don't like talking about iPhones during iPhone season.
Oh, that might have been just me being petulant. Yeah, that seems right.
Yes.
Let me see.
Petulant's such a great word.
About last year at this time?
Yeah, because you're doing it now.
No, I'm saying, got it. Yeah, pretty downtime for me last year.
Okay, fair.
I'm just kidding. I was just being
across the board, baby. It's a great time of the year for everyone. Yeah, so fun stuff, man. I think it's just minor quality of life things, some stuff. I do think some of the customization, there's a lot of settings in a lot of places now, which makes it sometimes feel a little unwieldy.
We're getting a little too many layers deep some places.
Yeah. But it kind of going back to last week's point about everything becoming Vistified, also applying to this update.
It really is, because it kind of feels a little Visty at this point. Everything's looking a little Visty. Like, what do you think when you pull down the control panel, dude? Like, the only thing you can think of is Vista.
It's so much.
And look, with my background, I kind of have like Vista color background, so it really just feels like this is like the Vista control panel.
See, there you go. I have like my lights that are smart lights.
Yeah.
In here, thermostat, home stuff. Yeah, I mean it's. I like the music page on the control center.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, the thing is, I can't even track that these were iOS 18s because I've had that for like, it feels like 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, that's about.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because that's awesome. That kind of stuff. Love the contextualness. Yeah. Everything's a little more. Things are better at being contextual in what you do consistently. I do think that's been like the pull down. Is like
the pull down
much more dynamically
2 rows, way more. It's like way more dynamic on like it almost knows it knows my habits, right? Your phone knows.
Oh
your
yeah,
habits.
no, the read book, when the read book just started randomly showing up when I started doing a lot more audible, I was like, that's so cool. And it won't now. I do it enough that it doesn't change. It's like always there. Even if I haven't
like the
audible.
Stuff like my fantasy apps are up around this time of day. In the morning, Spotify. Probably if I'm checking my bank or whatever, boom, that stuff's there. So yeah, some of the very contextual stuff. I do think it's hilarious that Apple Intelligence is not out with the new iPhone. Also because
they're really making it seem as if it's out.
Very funny. Yep. Very funny.
It's wild.
It's coming. It's going to be out in like the first week or 2 of October, so it'll be pretty shortly after. But I still think that it's hilarious. It's basically going to be like a month of me with a new iPhone. Oh, still no Apple Intelligence. The thing they spent 80% of the time talking about.
And Apple Intelligence, if I'm correct. Now, I didn't watch it verbatim, but if I'm correct, it'll solve all the problems you've ever had, right?
That's all the problems you've ever had with Siri specifically.
And just so everybody remembers what we tangented at some point about. So now you're gonna have to Siri.
It's
has
all
to
related, baby.
Everything,
it's all
everything.
Related. That was a softball toss to you, my guy.
At the very least, give us back Scarlett Johansson voice from her.
Truly.
Let's.
Truly.
If we're gonna do it, if you're gonna really tell us it's everything, make it everything. Don't fake it. Let's just make my phone a person. Let's do it.
Yeah. give me ScarJo. Give me Salma Hayek, and then for the ladies,
give me Austin Butler's Elvis.
Austin Butler's Elvis. I don't think they want that one. I don't think they want that one.
I want that one.
Ladies, do you want that one? Oh, Spencer wants that one. Okay.
Give me Ray Fiennes' Voldemort.
Give me Willem Dafoe, man.
Give me Willem Dafoe in Boondock Saints.
Oh my God, I always forget that he's in Boondock Saints.
There was a firefight. That movie sucks. I've seen it 600 times.
We didn't even talk about our travel tech. Spencer,
no, we don't need to.
With?
Just don't.
No, okay.
Don't
right,
travel.
Right. Okay.
No, travel tech. Let's just do it.
No, I think it's a good one. Real quick. When you travel, Spencer, what are the things you have to take with you?
Well, Danny, I have an iPhone 13 mini, so I have to bring 17 portable chargers. Because if I use it on the plane, if I look at this phone for more than 15 seconds, it's at 40%.
Yeah.
Danny, I had this phone charging up until I want to say I had it at 100% last at 5:30. 43%, and we've been doing a podcast for most of the time.
That's brutal. That is absolutely brutal.
So several bricks is what I'm shipping with. I have a couple different ones. I have my big boy,
battery bricks,
my little tiny guy, and then I have the one that I bought when I forgot both of them. That's an airport one. That's the worst thing of all time. But I bring all of them. I bring 3 to 4 bricks. I bring 60 to 70 cords. I might not need all the cords, but I'm bringing 60 to 70 cords. I do always bring
one. I do always bring at least one extra cord.
I'm not joking. I'm bringing 10 to 20 cords. I'm bringing wall plugs aplenty. I'm bringing adapters for my USB-C to USB. I got it all planned.
Oh my God, adapters!
I got all sorts of shit going on, Danny. And then I'm of course bringing my lens wipes for my glasses.
Excellent choice.
And then I'm bringing my Kindle Scribe. That's
It's a good Kindle. It's a great Kindle.
To my Scribe for all Kindle needs. And honestly, I probably don't use the Scribe parts enough, but it's still a really good Kindle. And I think I charged it once, and I've had it for 5 months.
It feels very fun. I tried it that one time, and
I was
writing tactile feedback. Excellent.
Today, it's really good because our house, right? So I write all measurements in here. And I know that this is here now, and I'll never lose this because it's also connected to my Amazon account. And if I want, I can email everything that I've ever written down in here.
Technology is so dumb a lot of times, and then it's nice, and then it's nice
because this legitimately feels like you're writing on paper. It's weird.
It is a strange feeling. It is super a strange feeling.
And then I'm probably bringing the PlayStation Portal, Danny. But not for the actual travel part. It's for when you're at the place you're traveling to before you go to bed.
Yeah.
Because
a little loungy game session.
Yeah. Or for when you're a person like me who wakes up at 6 a.m. whenever you travel, wherever you go. And then you just have to be awake for 3 to 4 hours before most other people wake up.
Makes sense.
So it's nice to play most of Cult of the Lamb during.
Excellent traveling and on the go game.
Yeah. So that's all my stuff. And then
how many headphones do you bring with you?
I was just gonna finish 2.
Nice.
Usually, but I've actually started now that most planes I'm on will do Bluetooth often. You can do Bluetooth to the seat back.
Yeah.
I now have more rarely am I bringing my over ears. I'm mostly fully just bringing my XM5 earbuds because they can get through any flight, no problem.
Yeah,
full flight. Like
yeah. I'm still heavy on 2. I bring my over ears for the flights, and then basically all other times I just use my AirPods.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot, real quick on the AirPods things. I didn't even realize I went for a walk yesterday. And they improved the hear through is improved, the spatial awareness is improved, and the voice detection when you like start a conversation and you have like noise cancellation on is much more. It's much faster, much more responsive on the new iOS update. So,
interesting.
Last real quick touch on that one. I was like, it's nice. So I might give it a try on the plane itself to see if like it improved the noise canceling at all.
Yeah, that's one thing having the Sonys. They don't.
But the Sonys are so
they're great, but like I actually don't particularly like the hear through stuff because I'm a person who will be sometimes talking to myself a little bit while I'm doing things when I have my headphones on. Like I'm talking to the dogs. Like I'm, you know what I mean? Like,
and it's not like you don't want that to prompt like
no, I
hate
it. Yeah. I hate it. I turn off all of those smart adaptive features, even though they're all good. Like they work fine.
Yeah.
Like it's not. But I'm just like unless I'm literally wearing them at like a work thing, which at that point I work from home most of the time, so I'm not like wearing headphones.
Yeah. I mean, I almost always carry 2 headphones with me. Like if I go into the office, it's AirPods on the commute and over ears.
So people, because you have to show them what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyways, two headphones for me.
Sure. And just so everybody knows, we know that that's insane. Like,
I don't think so.
In case people think that we think it's normal. No, we know it's not normal.
No, it's totally normal.
No, and
totally
I've
normal,
sometimes brought extra headphones just to test them out in different environments for nothing, for no reason, just for myself.
Just because it's fun.
Yeah.
We like this stuff, okay? It's like the one thing that we don't...
Yeah, we understand that this is a weird part.
It's extra. It's extra as hell for sure. 100%. So I bring those 2. 1 battery pack. So I only carry 1 battery pack with me, but it's like a chunky size. It's like a 20,000 milliamp one.
Oh, yeah. Ours are only like 4,000.
Yeah, no. See,
I just
have a single chunky one.
You know what? I might just get a big bitch right now. I gotta get the milk. I gotta get the juice.
That's the clip. That is the clip. Thank you for that. So that is the clip.
Can't clip those things. I accidentally say them.
Oh my god! In what context? Who knows, baby? Well, I'm gonna have some fun with it.
No, don't ruin my career.
So okay. So the big battery pack.
Big battery pack.
Jesus, I take my my 8-bit though small like Super NES shaped controller, and the clip that I use for my phone when I'm playing mobile games or remote play on my phone instead of the port or whatever. But also it's useful for the laptop if for whatever reason I have enough downtime where it's like, oh, I'm going to play on Steam or something on my laptop. So laptop. I used to be an iPad on the go flight traveling person, not anymore.
Yeah,
I pick one or the other. I pick one or the other.
Yeah, I will usually have the iPad in my backpack, but that might be used by Christine as much as me. Depends on who's more into it. Her phone's bigger, so she usually just uses her phone.
Yeah. And then whatever book I'm reading, probably finishing up Morningstar on the flight. If I don't finish it by Friday at this point. And I mean, honestly, that's pretty much it. Like cables, I always carry at least 1 extra cable. So I have my battery pack, extra cable. My Anchor power brick thing that has 2 USB-C plugs and they're both fast charge. Really good. I highly recommend. It's only like $20 too. It's not crazy. That one's good. And that's pretty much it. I don't really take anything else. This time around, I'm going to take my camera.
Yeah, I think
so. It's gonna be interesting to see how that travels. But yeah, nothing too crazy besides the insanity of multiple headphones.
Right. Yeah. And Danny, we did it.
We did it. Good job, team.
Great job. This is the end.
And it doesn't even matter.